Hey, so we got 16 cells, it's right about 300 bucks. So that includes shipping and taxes. So that's why the number may seem a little bit high sometimes. But when I print out the sheet, that's what it says. So we're gonna start off with this Joshua Bell short trip home. This sold for like $12.59 plus shipping. Up next we have this 45 of Lou Reed. We sold this one for $9.09. This came from our big 45 lot. So recently we tried doing like where you do a CSV file and drop everything in there and list a bunch of 45s at once. We've been able to get a bunch up, but it does take a little bit of time. But this one was actually listed before, so I think we listed like 60 or 70 that way, which is quite a bit when we were doing like 5 or 10 at a time. We had 909 for Lou Reed. Lou Reed does have a good following, and what's kind of cool about this one, it does have this sticker on here, so that's pretty cool. Up next we have this Spanish cassette, Los Freddy's. We sold this for 20 bucks on an offer. You know, we've had this up for over a year. I kind of threw a number out there and a guy just countered at 20 bucks, and I said, I would take it. I think we paid 10 bucks for this at a yard sale for a box of probably like 40. It wasn't even 10 bucks because there was just a bunch of stuff, and I paid 10 bucks overall. But it was like 40 or 50 Spanish cassettes plus a bunch of media items. But yeah, 20 bucks for that one. Only the Strong. This came from our guy Ron. He gave us a bunch of free VHS. This one's kind of cool. This sold for 5 bucks, but let's see what movie this. I'm not sure what year this is. 93. But this is actually like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is before I even know anything about it. But it's kind of cool. Only the Strong. I just wanted to point that out to you. Up next we have High Tension. This sold for $3 plus shipping. I just took the offer. I didn't think it was going to get much more. Maybe 4, so fine with that. Up next we have Rise of Legend. We sold for $6.99 plus shipping. This came from our big lots. We would go there and buy the movies that were on sale and try to use our coupons. But recently I haven't been able to find anything that is good or priced low enough. So this is our best one of the weekend, the Sokol Special South Omaha Cookbook. We got this from a library sale. We used to do library sales when we were Amazon sellers, but we stopped, and I recently went back to one for the first time in years. And it was the same people that were working there. They remembered me. It'd probably been 4 years or so. But you know, I went in there because it said 10 cent, you know, media, VHS, DVDs, CDs. And I glanced at the sci-fi books and the cookbooks, and I saw this. It was only 50 cents. And we sold this for 50 bucks. So we probably had 5 or 6 offers between $20 and $35. But I would not take them. I had a feeling it would sell pretty good, so I just held out. And it was probably 2 weeks, and this thing sold for 50 bucks. So we have a bunch of these spiral ones. We've never sold one this high of price. They're usually like $15, 8 to 15. But this one sold for 15, so pretty cool book. This is actually pretty thick. It does have where people were in here a lot, marking stuff down and writing things in here. Not really writing, but tagging stuff that they were interested in. So and I believe this is like a Czechoslovakian book here. So up next we have Death Cab for Cutie, $7.50 on an offer. This came from our big CD DVD buy. At times that buy can be half or 3/4 of what's sold here, but it looks like it's a mix of things. We actually have some CDs from other places and a few DVDs from other places too, so that is always nice to see. There still is quite a bit left of that, but we're going through it here and there, but we keep buying new stuff along the way. We have this John Coltrane, Living Space. You know, before I used to listen to, or I watched this guy, Noble Records, there on YouTube, and he would talk about jazz and stuff a lot, and so I started paying a little bit more attention. I like to put on the jazz for my regular work, and there's a lot of work in Excel, and I will sit there and put it on with my headphones and go away with some work. But after that, I find these jazz guys out there, and jazz stuff does really well. I'm talking albums, CDs. I don't find a lot of jazz CDs, but I'm looking for the jazz albums. And this weekend I got some cool stuff, so I'm gonna do a quick video on that. And but yeah, this John Coltrane sold for $15.99 to a repeat buyer. So that is always good to get a repeat buyer. Up next, we have this Blood Rain $7.25 on an offer. That was from Felix. If you watch this channel a lot, we do sell some Felix stuff. He was a guy we would buy media from, but he had twins, so he's kind of gotten out of the game. But he's a pretty good picker, I thought. I mentioned him a lot. Let me go to the next page here. We have this Super Hits by Rosanne Cash. We sold this for $5.99, so this probably took 6 hours to sell. Maybe I underpriced it, but recently we just bought like $400 in DVDs, and there was like 2 boxes of CDs in there. I'm talking small boxes. So I've listed about 75 items out of there, and would you know, the first thing that sells is a CD. $5.99. I mean, we'll take it. Up next, we have this Bruce Dickinson. It sold for $9.74. This came from a lot that I got at a rummage sale. That there was like barely anything at this rummage sale, but off to the side there was these 2 boxes of CDs. I was on my lunch break, so I said, "Hey, $20 for these boxes," and they jumped at it. And there was actually some really good stuff in there. The only issue was it looked like the previous owner was a smoker, so it does have a yellow tinge to it. I have that in my listings, but no one has complained at this time. I try to put some charcoal and stuff to make it go away, but I feel like the CD cases would probably need to be changed out and stuff. But it's not really too much of an issue. But there's some pretty good stuff in there. And I probably have about 50 to 60 more that need to be listed. But yeah, $9.74 on that one. We have this Wings of Desire. This sold for $12.99. Next, we have this House Party soundtrack, which sold for, I think it was like $9, $10. This come from the lady that's the next town over. We buy a lot of media items. Usually I fill up a whole tote full of media, and I walk up there and she's like, $50. So I remember on this occasion, when I went, I always would just go for a VHS at her place. That's all I wanted to get. But after a while, you only can find so much VHS, so I started going through her DVDs. And she does get a lot out. She does clean out, she buys lots, she does auctions. So she gets a lot of new items in. But I was going through, I found this bass CD. And I had just watched a YouTube video recently, and it said, we find these early 90s bass albums, buy them. Bought that one, it sold for $45. And then I bought this too, so right away, we probably had about 125 items, and 2 of them pretty much made our money back. So yeah, I love going to hers. I haven't been there in like 2 months or so I'll probably be going back soon. Up next, we have this Julia Fordham. This sold for $9.99. This is the same it just came from our big CD DVD buy that I mention all the time. And this is the last sale we have, Heavy Traffic. This Ralph Bakshi, I can't really say his name, but he does this animation from like the 70s and 80s. I only know about him because we went to visit my girlfriend's dad, and over the weekend we saw there was like a little tiny town. They're having a sale in the town, which was probably like 10-yard sales. So we went there, and I bought this guy's collection of VHS and DVDs for like $15. It was probably about 40 or 50 things. Maybe not even that, 30 things. But I was going through it. It was pretty much common stuff. But there was a movie called Fritz the Cat. If you know that VHS, look it up. We ended up selling that thing for $80 or $90. And I seen that he was like the director guy. And if you see him right there, He was the director, and I bought this from a storage unit. This one here, I think I paid the lady like $70. We agreed upon like 40, but I went there. She had a bunch of video games, and sold that for 20 bucks. So pretty good there. We've made our money back on that one, plus some, and there's still quite a bit left. The video games were decent, but there's some scratches on some of them, and I just don't have the proper equipment to deal with that. But the VHS are cool. We always do well on those. I mean, there's only 2 VHS cells here, but that's what we do have. Up next is a Bonanza order. We've had this thing listed for like a very long time. The pictures from our old house, and we've lived here like going on 3 years, so I want to say it's like 4 years old, and it didn't even sell on eBay. But this sold for 10 bucks plus 5 bucks shipping. These sing-along songs can do alright. You lot them up, or sometimes you can just sell them solo. We find them all the time. We pick them up. We sell them here and there. But yeah, I just want to go over these things, show you real quick, and then that is that.